I'm live now.
I'm going.
Hi, everybody. We are live.
No, I am dead.
See, Joe died. We brought him back as a zombie. We're Weekend at Bernie's him. we're playing Calypso music, and he's just dancing along.
It's the weekend, so
It's the second one.
not the second one.
Yeah, where they've got like the Jamaican music that gets the body to animate, like a voodoo corpse.
You're Jamaican me crazy.
I know that. That's normal. But hi, everyone. Welcome to Discussing Tabletop, where Joe and I talk about the tabletop news of the week.
We do?
We do, technically. And some other stuff.
We just goofed off.
It kind of is both of those things, constantly. So yeah, we got an interesting docket of topics for you today. We're going to be talking about Magic the Gathering, a secret lair that is called Happy Little Gatherings. We're going to talk about Alien Archive 4 from Starfinder being put out by Paizo. Modiphius has announced a huge slay of its 2021 plans. So we're going to talk about those a little bit from their Modiphius Con or whatever, I think ModeCon or whatever they called it, or MoCon. Following that up, though, a new adventure from Star Trek Adventures, The Prize, we want to talk about a little bit. Then we'll talk about Alien RPG, that they've got their Colonial Marines book actually coming out. So they had the adventure where you could be Colonial Marines, and now post that, they have an actual book that talks about being Colonial Marines. Isn't that convenient? And then finally, we're going to end up with the silliest thing of them all, because I saw it, which is an Operation game. I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to talk about Operation here. That's going to be a weird one. But I saw it, and I thought we needed to talk about it, just from seeing it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. Let's start, of course, with a secret lair. Now, secret lairs, if you're unaware of them, are a Magic the Gathering commodity that is kind of a weird hot-button issue. I'm going to put it this way. They've done a lot of interesting things, good things, and bad things with secret lairs. They are cash grabs through and through.
This one, I will at least say, it's not badly priced. It's $30, and it's 10 special lands with Bob Ross paintings.
That's what it is. It's Bob Ross art.
So it comes to $3 a land.
Again,
That's not horrible.
Well, most secret lairs, what they are, is effectively fancy art. That's it. They're fancy art. And that is, like, as much as they are attempting, like, there's issues with secret lairs, the fact that you order it now, and then, you'd order it, because the sale for this one, like, say, starts the 14th. The problem with that, then, is it doesn't get released to the 15th of March next year.
Yeah.
So that there's issues with your thing, there's no return policy. This is a big part of it that I've heard tales of. That, like, when people will get secret lairs, most of the time they're okay. But a few times that there's errors or damage or something, you can't do jack shit about it. Because you ordered it months ago. They ordered these in advance. Because it's print on demand. They have it sold for a certain amount of time, figure out the print run, and only print that amount.
Now, you can get them also in Mtg Arena.
Yes. But Arena is its own monetization system, and I don't try to talk about that a lot, because you can't
I'm just saying.
You can do a lot for free in Arena, but it requires you playing a lot. It's grinding. It's got a very mobile game thing that if you want to speed stuff up or get stuff...
I just wish they would add multiplayer to it.
They've had no need to? I mean, that's the problem. They have had no
Well,
need to.
it's because people still use the old... you can still play on Magic Online.
Well, Magic Online's better for so many different things. Still.
But if you really are trying to push Arena, I would add, Three-Headed Giant and other formats to it than just one-on-one.
I think they've added good old. Not to complain too much about it. I think they added, like, you can do Pauper in Arena.
Yeah, you can do Pauper.
They've all. I think they have. You can do anything you can play single player is pretty much what they have.
Yeah.
But anyway,
anything you can play 2-player, you should.
That's what I mean. Sorry, 2-player.
You can play against live people.
I know. I misspoke. What I was saying.
Yeah, it's just. I think it would be so much. Like, I think I would play more on it if they had the multiplayer aspect.
I pretty much got done the intro and then called it a day. I haven't touched it.
I played a bunch for a while, and then I kind of just was like, I'm tired of playing one-on-one games.
I also never have liked standard. Like, I like building decks in a standard format, but usually then, like, I have to get a bunch of cards to do that. It's like I don't want to recollect the cards. Part of me is like another thing that really just turned me off to it. But anyway, regardless, we're heading back to Secret Lairs. Whether or not you enjoy promo things and you want to spend extra money on it,
they are beautiful Bob Ross paintings.
Yes, that you can definitely say. Like, it's amazing the different stuff he painted over the years. That you can have like this massive collection of stuff. That he because again, he's done some seascapes, some areas that are like the lands that are swampy are just sort of swampy. I think they're not like
the 2 forest cards. I think are the best.
I think the plains work pretty well. Like the one is like a look of
the mountains
valley.
Are pretty good. Yeah, and the mountains are pretty good too.
And the island ones are technically not bad. It's just one is
an ocean
and one is like a seashore.
Yeah. But I think the 2 forest ones are really, really good.
Yeah. It's honestly impressive, the stuff he put out here. I'll throw the link to the secret lair of Happy Little Gathering here into the chat if it would let me. Boom, there it does. It let me.
Oh, you could also get the foil edition for $40.
That's another way to make money. It's like you want both.
It's like the foil edition actually, to me, with these, isn't a big selling point because you're kind of distorting the painting. Then you're kind of adding a rainbow effect over the Bob Ross painting. So to me, that's not as good.
Huh. Wow. Because they have an MTG Arena, they have an Arena redemption and an online redemption that you can get with it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of interesting. I mean,
at least you're getting
something
extra material with it.
Again, Secret Lairs are a mixed bag of stuff is the only problem. I always feel like you have to judge each one individually because them as a product whole, if you judge them all together, it tends to be a really bad product. There are exceptions. This one's pretty decent one. I mean, if you want to have blinged out lands effectively for $3 a piece, there's a way to do it. I mean, that's the honest opinion. You will have these really neat-looking lands that will only be printed here with Bob Ross art.
Yeah.
It is the one chance to do it. If you are not up for, special promos or unique cards, it doesn't really matter to you.
I think it's a weird... I could have seen this maybe, right after his death.
He's been dead a long time, though.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is, why now?
Because they need ideas for Secret Lairs, honestly speaking.
But you know what I mean. It just kind of seems like an odd timing of, hey, random Bob Ross lands.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to think about, the kind of stuff they're coming up with.
Oh my god, yeah. He died in 95. So that would have been early in Magic's history, too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he died in 95.
Think about this. Let's go over the products they currently have out for Secret Lair, just to give you an idea. They have one that has art that looks like it's heavy metal covers for cards. They have a squirrel one. They have, of course, the Bob Ross one. They have another artist, Seb McKinnon. I don't know much about him. Something called Box of Rocks, which is rock-based cards. And of course, there's Secret Versity Super Drop, which I guess is their anniversary thing because it's been a year of doing it. You have to think of that. That's what they have showing off here, you know?
Yeah.
That is just a weird collection of stuff, you know?
It's just odd and yeah.
The fact is they're drawing out a lot of straws to figure out what products to put out a lot of times. And this one, who knows why they chose it. You know, that's the unfortunate thing. Someone may have said, like, you know, we're doing artists, and they're like, hey, how about Bob Ross? You know, that could have been it. Like, you know,
yeah,
artist, Secret Lairs. What can we do? Well, he's dead. What can we do? Well, he did a lot of landscapes. Let's see if he's got landscapes that would match basic lands. You know, that's. I feel like that's kind of like the idea almost. You know?
Oh yeah, I get it. It's just like I said, it's kind of just like random.
It is very random. I will not argue the randomness of it. That is incredibly true. It's the sheer fact that, like, I feel like, again, its Secret Lairs are really cash grabs. Like, there's been a lot of places where they put out promos and stuff before and encourage sales, but these are direct, like, promo sales that are mostly sold in the U.S. I think it's pretty much U.S. and Europe that can get Secret Lairs. That's it. If you're in Asia, if you're in South America, if you're in Africa, if you're in Australia and you're a Magic Gathering player, you're all screwed on all them.
Yeah.
If you want to get Secret Lairs. Or you ship them to a friend who's, you know, in one of those regions. The fact is, like, as much as I like to say, like, this isn't a bad one, the more I see of Secret Lairs, the more I don't like them. You know, it's like, they have these cool ones like this, which if they stuck to their guns and had things like this, but then they had, like, the Walking Dead one, which we complained about, you know, just a few months ago. That was bad. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like as a product line, it is horribly flawed. This as a product, if we look on it as its own, as a little thing that has Bob Ross art, which Bob Ross does some really great landscapes. He does really good art for landscapes, and these lands look really pretty. You know, I really do have to say that. They look really nice. They've got a very, very, like, you know, they've got that, like, watercolor, you know, that actual painted look, which you don't get in a lot of Magic cards for, like, lands and stuff nowadays. And quality, too. Like, some of the, like, things that look like they have a painted style, they don't have the same quality because they're older cards or something, too. And getting, like, that, like, really artistic quality on something newer is really nice. I can't argue with that.
Although I will say I am kind of tempted to get the squirrel one and give it to Kevin, our one friend who had a squirrel deck.
I can understand that.
Because squirrels, all he really wants is squirrels.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, no. I think this is certainly an interesting product. Am I against them having it out? No. I have my arguments about, you know, Secret Lairs, but this is a fine one. This is a fine one, and if you like Bob Ross, if you play Magic, I would not argue with someone getting it. Honestly speaking, I would not argue against it. So, I have plenty of other things that I can argue against that Magic does, and things that I support. They're that weird nexus point of both the love-hate relationship with the powers that be at Wizards.
Well, here you go. You can get the Super Drop Secret Versary bundle for only $230.
Yeah. No. Who in their right mind? That is a lot of money. Who loves secret layers that much to get it? I kinda.
Okay, so it include the bundle includes all the secret layers they have coming out right now, regular and foil edition.
Rocks. Yeah, it's got all 4 of them.
Yeah.
So like a bundle of secret layers. Okay. I mean, then it might be worth it, technically speaking. Weirdly enough, just for price wise.
And the normal going price is $279. It's on sale for $229. So you're saving a whole,
whole slight bit of
$40.
money.
No, $50.
$50.
Okay, well, you're basically getting 1 1/4 of them for free.
Mm-hmm. Let's move on.
Yes.
Let's talk about Paizo. It has been what was it? 3 years?
A little less than 3 years. It came out in August of 2017.
So as of August 2017, Starfinder came out. So cool. Starfinder is an interesting system. Great. Guess what Alien Archive we are on? If you would guess 4, you would have guessed correctly. We are on the 4th Alien Archive.
Yes.
There's been a shit ton of these.
Which
Now,
makes sense. I mean,
that's the
coming
thing.
out with a lot of alien races is a good thing.
Yes, I will agree
And
that.
it's 100 of them. So
Yeah.
that's a decent amount.
A dozen races with full player rules. So that means like there's 100 new races that they're adding in to Starfinder.
Wait. Everything from a fungus uplifted animal
Yes.
to a humanoid made of magic coral.
Also, yes.
Or magic Carl.
Magic Carl. New alien technology, including armor, weapons, magic items, and more. New rules for grafting the strange physical traits of other species on your own. Creating a... there's some weird shit.
Hey, look, I got a tentacle. Don't ask where I put it.
Yes. No, we weren't going to ask anyway.
It's a floof tentacle, too. It has hair on it.
Why do you have floof tentacle?
In honor of lightning.
Nah, it's not acceptable. That's just weird. Look, sometimes you need a tentacle floof anyway. But, I mean, as much as I do have that complaint that they have had a lot of them, it's a very minor complaint to the fact that, yes, you're talking about space for something like one planet. Like, if I'm talking like, Pathfinder, we're on Galarian. How much shit can be on one planet that you can define that's not just like, it's a new version of this, or it's like, there's some orcs that show up and do orky things or something rather.
It's a terrace that's made completely out of coral.
I mean, like, you could accept that in space. I couldn't accept that in a Galarian-based Pathfinder game, because then I'm like, well, why is there a second one?
Because a mad wizard.
Wizards are not that good. They try.
Okay, a mad demigod.
That could have happened. It's just the sheer fact that, like, there was, 5 or 6 bestiaries, and we've already had 4 Alien Archives. I'm curious as to how far they'll go, and how much ideas they have. Starfinder is one of the ones that I do kind of want to, try out more, though, just because of its uniqueness. I just haven't had much of a chance to.
I sometimes think my last game should have been in Starfinder a bit.
Honestly speaking, I could see that. Dark Matter wasn't bad.
It's a good system, but it just, I don't think it really did what I really wanted it. And
that's a problem. You don't always know, especially with newer system testing them out to do what they want. when you stick within what the system has, it's a lot easier, or, and dark matter is technically, it wasn't even like it was like not even like a full conversion of 5th edition. It was a 5th edition supplement. So it's hard to say how it would work.
Yeah.
But no, I think it's cool that they're coming out with this new group of creatures. I'm like the fact that they do put out more races in each of these. Like, that was one of those things that the bestiary was really good about doing, is putting out lots of new and unusual races. But I don't always know if you could find a lot of them without checking the books. Some of them were like really weird. Like, I don't even know if the PSFRD necessarily had all of them in an easier grabbable place. It's kind of hard to remember.
Right.
But no. Fungus uplifted animal. So you're basically, it's Last of Us in space, but you're not a zombie, and instead you're smart. We'll go for that. Okay.
What about First of Us?
I mean, that I would call the game Worst of Us, but that's ha ha ha. Hot take. Anyway, let's talk Modiphius.
Bad, Tantus, bad.
I will not say sorry for my very, very awful comments. I have lots of them.
Tantus trees for you.
I already had those, so nanner.
I take them back.
They were shrimp, and you'd have to bring them out of my gut, which if you want to come over here and try to get them up, I will vomit them up on you for you.
No, I'll just cut you open.
Too bad. Vomit them up. That's what you get them from. So,
nope.
I think it was ModCon, or it looks like MooCon, honestly speaking. Whenever I see the name of the show they had, but I think it's supposed to be. I said MooCon. I'm sorry. The font they use to describe their convention makes it look like it's MMOOCON. I think it's supposed to be a D, but it's got to be subtle, the differences between their O and their D. Like,
oh no, it definitely does look like MooCon.
I know, I'm telling you. Again, I think it's supposed to be MoodCon or something, but still.
Oh no! If I copy and paste it, it does say ModCon.
And if you look like at the going to like the ModCon art, it actually is ModCon.
But yes, their O and their D look exactly the same.
It actually might be MoodCon because Modiphius.
No, it's Mod.
No, they got.
Unless, yeah, but it doesn't have an umlaut.
Because the type of typeset they have doesn't have it. The long O thing, they have that in the like proper art for the convention.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So MoodCon.
Yeah, MoodCon. So MoodCon had many announcements.
Are you in the mood
for MoodCon? Of course, did we talk about Dune at all? Did we?
I don't think so. Or we might have mentioned it.
It might have been one of the weeks we missed where I was gonna have us talk about it, which is what I'm forgetting completely. There's a Dune RPG. We haven't talked about it because, personally speaking, I am not a huge Dune fan. I know the basic story of it. I saw most of the original movie, the one that probably doesn't follow the book that great, as far as I've heard. And there's more stuff coming out for it. But there's also, for once, I'm going to say timely, because there's the new Dune movie coming out next year. There's a Dune RPG coming out. Incredibly timely for once. For once, one of these license things, timely. How many of these license things have we seen and we're like, this is bad timing? This is one that I'm saying, like, they have great timing. They have a Dune RPG coming out, and there's a new Dune movie coming out next year. Wow! Promotion! And or, connections. So, yeah. That's what I got on that one. But yeah, Dune. Coming soon. And then, of course, we've got the Fallout 2D20 RPG. Now, this is the proper one. We talked about how Wasteland Warfare, which was their miniatures game, they had like an RPG version of it, so you could combine their miniatures and RPGing to kind of do like a little bit of 4th edition. together with it, which wasn't a bad idea. I mean, they had this like miniatures-based game, and making an RPG on top of it wasn't a bad idea. But now they have a full actual Fallout RPG coming out next year. They're planning on launching that in the second quarter. So it'll be like the core book and all stuff, and they're going to do their 2D20 system, which they're known for. We've played Star Trek. It's one of their 2D20 systems.
Yeah, and it's good.
Honestly speaking, I would look forward to trying the Fallout one. I would like to see the Fallout RPG. I like Fallout games. I liked Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas a lot. Then we got Star Trek Adventures has had some announcements. There's going to be there's a couple things, like there's a Tribe-Quarter collector's set that really looks neat. They're doing some sponsorship deals. They're planning out for a bunch of others like special stuff. The big thing is that
Discovery and Picard.
Yeah, they're expanding their product line, so they're going to do Discovery and Picard products, which will be interesting because Discovery, the best thing that I think we both agree on is you can hope for. There's two things they could do. I wouldn't mind having mirror universe books. That might be using Discovery because they did a lot more of it than a lot of the other seasons that they had an entire half a season there. Why not? Like a mirror universe thing that you can do mirror universe for adventures. That'd be neat.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Also, where it is right now, it's...
Yeah, the far-flung future.
And I think it's actually, this season's one of the best seasons so far.
Yeah, so, those are some good options. And then, the Picard timeline, I liked the series. There were some interesting things about the timeline there that wouldn't be bad for,
And it's a bit more in the future.
Yeah, so it develops a little bit of stuff. It's not super far in the future, but it expands a little bit upon that next gen DS9 Voyager timeline, and in a good way. So I'm gonna be honestly speaking here, I wouldn't mind even some of the weird things. I wouldn't mind if they did something like Lower Decks. I've only seen the first episode of that. But I've
seen the first season of it. It was pretty good overall.
But that would be fun. That'd be you don't even have to have it completely comical, because the thing is, it feels like there's a lot of comedy to it. But a lot of the weird storylines feel like that could be a crew of people in the lower decks of a starship. Where weird shit is happening.
Also, there's the interesting fact that they're making a Star Trek kids show starring Captain Janeway.
Yes, I saw that.
And Kate Margrew is coming back for it.
Yes, where it's I feel because I think the idea is that kids, something happens to kids on a starship and then they're have to do it. And if it's going to be Janeway in charge of a bunch of kids, Admiral Janeway, trying to lead kids on a Voyager style adventure.
God, they're going to all die.
No.
I like Janeway. Don't get me wrong. I like Voyager. But she would get them all killed.
It would be a kid-friendly adventure. Thank you very much.
No. It would be better to be Jean-Luc Picard. It'd just be an extension of that one episode.
He's
of them going through the turbo lift.
No, I just want to see him they show up there and then just he just goes, "Oh," and then just the bleeping of he's just, "Oh, beep." Picard loses his stuff.
Oh, God.
Like
I said, it'd just be an extended version of the turbo lift episode when he had to get all the kids in the turbo lift out of there and climb up the turbo shaft.
They have a bunch of stuff planned out for a lot of their other series. Octung Cthulhu, which is the weird World War II Cthulhuian Lovecraft adventure. Homeworld, Dishonored, John Carter of Mars are getting stuff.
Yep. Conan again.
Conan Adventures in Age Undreamed. Age Undreamed is not Conan has a job. Honestly speaking, I'm so much happier for it. Because Conan...
It's not another job for Conan.
Yeah. Conan has had a lot of jobs already.
Conan, the construction worker.
He's like, hey...
No. Conan, the accountant.
Man.
Oh no, it's tax season.
honestly speaking, they have Conan the Wanderer, the Adventurer. If the Adventurer hasn't fighting Serpent Men with Star Metal, I totally will be behind that if they just do the animated series. And they're doing
Conan Scout the King,
Conan Exiles, Conan the World of Crawl. They're doing Crawl. That's a weird one. I do remember that. I do remember whoever did Crawl. It was either the guy who did Conan also did Crawl, or it was someone that had like inspiration from him and talked to him or something like that. I remember hearing something about that there was that connection together. So it's like the world of Crawl isn't as weird as it sounds like, honestly speaking. And they're also doing 2 campaigns, which is cool. So they're doing a lot.
Waves of Stained Crimson and Shadow of the Sorcerer, plus a series of adventures called The Shining Kingdoms.
And I always say adventures for an RPG, pre-made ones, are one of the best things you can do. Because sometimes you don't want to plan something out, you just want to run something. And pre-made adventures help that a lot.
Or, you can tweak it, but you have a base to start from. It can work that way too.
Exactly.
Okay, I can add some of my own stuff into it, but I don't have to come up with it, everything off the cuff.
Exactly. And then we have the Infinity and Mutant Chronicles is going to have some stuff out. So they're doing a lot of stuff next year that they're kind of like throwing out there, which is good. I like a lot of what Modiphius does. They're like, Star Trek Adventures. I really liked playing it. I will continue to do.
I can't wait till that becomes a thing again.
Yes. I mean, at very least, I will be doing another May the 4th be with Star Trek. I'm going to do it every year from now on.
Well, yes, but hopefully we'll have some of that beforehand.
I'm going to have to figure out...
I haven't heard from him, though, in a while.
I messaged him a little while ago, Josh, and he basically sent me a series of gifts that were implied. Children... busy craziness.
Oh yeah, I sent him a message asking how he was doing, and I haven't heard back, but he's also been on Do Not Disturb for the last couple of weeks.
I'm in his Discord. He might say stuff in his Discord still.
I'm in his Discord too. I haven't gone to his Discord actually.
I
just messaged him directly.
I don't check Discords a lot. Other people's stuff, Occasionally I do. Yes, Small Child.
Yes, I figured that.
We figured Small Child was going to be a major part of anything in this point in time,
Yes.
But moving on though, we do have something related to Star Trek Adventures anyway. A new adventure, the Prize Supplement. It's a 21-page adventure that came out around now. It's the big Star Trek Adventures release, even though it's not that big. I mean, it's a 21-page adventure. That's not particularly huge, but still. It's basically next generation era, but they have rules for adapting it to other ones. So it's the basics of it. It's a powerful alien energy source. Artifact is liquid in area sacred to natives who aren't aware of the Federation. Adversaries of the Federation arrive on the planet and trying to take the artifact. So there's a conflict, there's diplomacy, and you don't want to get and how can you not get the Vocals involved with the Prime Directive? So I mean, there's a lot of interesting layers to it. I have to say it's a classic Star Trek storyline. There's a MacGuffin here. That's probably...
Oh no, not a MacGuffin.
Natives that are unaware of us that we can't really interfere with, and someone else that's planning on stealing it that would use it for bad, Man. Space MacGuffins.
You gotta hate those space MacGuffins.
They happen way too much.
Especially when they take place in a galaxy far, far away.
That's only one day of the year. When possible weird shit will happen, and I have to figure out a new plot line for that one. I'll have to come up with it. But I'm months away from worrying about that. So, anyway. I'm slow anyway on that thing. But, no, I like the idea of the prize. Just reading through the summary of it, giving you an idea of the kind of storyline in it. It's a really good classic Star Trek storyline. And I'm really kind of like, ooh, that looks cool. that seems like a really good one. I think they're doing a very good job of coming up with these like little storylines that could be like either their own episode effectively, or maybe like a multi-part episode that you kind of put together, you know, and can have an adventure for it. And I'm happy they're putting out more of these. So good on Modiphius for keeping up the product line in Star Trek, though.
Agreed.
So let's talk a little about aliens. So yeah, we talked a little bit about this, that the, you know, like one of the, I was always more of a fan of, you know, the Aliens movie series. Definitely, I have to say that. I didn't mind Alien at all, but like the more action horror, I liked that a lot better, honestly speaking. You know, that was more my thing for this entire. Now the thing is, we had a book that was around players being Colonial Marines. They had an adventure that was all about it. Now what they're doing, again, like this is one of those weird things, is I don't know if it's good or bad to reverse order this, you know, because effectively they've put out an adventure with it in it, and now afterwards they've put out the book that talks about it. So, yeah, it's kind of weird. It just feels like the ordering is not great. I don't know. I don't know what would be the best order for the kind of, in this case. You know, that's one of those things. It's like, it's that chicken and the egg kind of thing. You know, what would be better to come first? A book that uses the material, or the actual book that defines the material? It's a question I kind of have. Again, like, the idea of playing, of having more like an action horror kind of experience rather than just a pure like sci-fi horror experience, sci-fi action horror, I like that a little better anyway. So like this is the kind of book that would get me into playing an alien RPG game. Honestly speaking, if I was going to run one, I would probably do like one of the pre-made adventures that involves Colonial Marines, honestly speaking, because I feel like this is one of those universes that you could probably improvise a lot of stuff, but you kind of feel like you want to know more about it before you do stuff. So, I mean, it gives a lot of good stuff about it. It gives like a little. It gives, the thing is, it defines a lot of stuff that's probably not in the movies, like a history of the organization of the Colonial Marines, rules for creating them, weapons and vehicles, different campaigns that they've been involved with. Other kind of factions that are within the kind of frontiers of space that they might get involved with. 5 missions, which is really good. And then like a kind of deadly showdown that if you do all those 5 missions you can do. So it has some adventure stats connected to it. So, nah. It's interesting. I'm glad they're putting it out. Again, it's just that the order's weird. It feels weird. I don't know.
I was never a huge Aliens fan, so, or
again,
Alien fan.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, again, like I liked Aliens a lot. That's the one that I was a really big fan of. You know, that's my one. Like, if I will see a Alien marathon on TV, I will only record that one to watch it again. But I do remember, for whatever reason, it was one of those weird situations that lately I figured out what it was. I kept thinking there was this one scene in the movie that I kept seeing. And I'm like, I thought that was in the movie. And then I realized it was part of a DVD that did deleted scenes, and it did one of those things where it puts deleted scenes in the movie where they're supposed to be.
Ah.
Yeah. Yep. But apparently it was a scene that people talked about that apparently a lot of people kept thinking it was in the movie when it's really a deleted scene. One of those interesting things. You know, it's that group mindset stuff that happens sometimes. And I'm like, oh my god, that makes sense. And I saw it in that DVD special, that special DVD that had it like that, which I think our one friend has. I think she has it, probably. I don't know, her DVD collections. That or Blaze. Hard to remember who has what.
Everyone has everything.
They both might have it. Blaze has a billion DVDs. But, no. Alien RPG, the Colonial Marines Operation Manual. It's going to be coming out relatively soon. I don't think March of next year is the official release date of it. So, yeah. You do need the core Alien RPG book to play with it, at least. They do say that. All right, now we have one more topic, and it's the most interesting topic of them all.
I'm looking at some of this stuff and going, why?
Okay, now this I just had to add it because there was the nostalgia factor. Honestly speaking, it's Christmas. There's the nostalgia factor as to why I included it for that point.
Oh yeah, no, I'm asking why some of these things are inside Bumble. That's all.
I forgot his name is Bumble.
Yeah,
it's the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. The stop motion? Was it kind of like a stop motion?
Yeah, it was stop motion.
Operation game. I'm sorry. It was a great TV special. I mean, it's the
land of misfit toys.
Yeah, the Snow Monster Bumble.
Yeah. Hear Bumble roar if the surgery fails.
You've joined Santa, Hermie, and Rudolph in a skill game.
Oh, he's the abominable snow monster.
Yeah.
Who bumbles.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts mumbling after you pull out those teeth.
Yeah, what the hell does he have in here? He's got like...
He's got the little tugboat toy. He's got the airplane toy. He's got the damn elephant in him.
Why did he eat so many toys?
He's got Christmas bells, a doll, an igloo.
Wait. You'll need to get 12 seasonal fun anime parts, including Jingle Tingle, Mistletoe, Sweet Tooth, Belly Full of Jelly, and Cold Shoulder, just to name a few out of them. I think the igloo is Cold Shoulder. Well, Operation always had really like weird, like, you know, stylized versions of like medical issues.
Yes, but it still made more sense. The frozen heart and the tooth, okay, that makes sense. The Jack in the Box, no. The mistletoe, maybe his tonsils.
It was the elf that wanted to be a dentist, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I forgot the elf wanted to be a dentist.
The elf wanted to be a dentist. He's the specialist. But like you have mistletoe. Unless you want to kiss Bumble's toe, remove the mistletoe down below. Or seeing spots. Bumble is feeling woozy and faint. Withdraw the misfit elephant. Hurry, don't wait.
It's rhyming and it's great. There's like a tooth in there. There's an actual tooth.
Well, yeah, because you pull all his teeth out in the movie. He gets all his teeth pulled out, so he's no longer threatening.
Yeah.
And Hermes is the elf who did it.
Yep. Oh, so there's specialist and doctor cards. Yeah.
Yes. But you have to sing silver. You have to sing silver and gold while you do it.
Why is Rudolph a doctor? I'm just gonna say that.
I don't know. The only one that would be any kind of thing would be the damn elf Hermes.
Yeah, I mean he has at least a dental specialist. He can get the tooth out.
But everything else is like, no.
It's Operation.
I mean, Yukon. Oh, what the hell is it? Cornelius, Yukon Cornelius, I think it is.
Oh God, yeah.
The guy who sings Silver and Gold in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he might know some emergency medicine.
Yeah, jeez. I don't know.
God, why do I remember all these names?
Honestly speaking, like, I had forgotten some of these names, but as soon as they were mentioned, they came back into my mind. You know, like Bumble and Hermie. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, Bumble and Hermie. I remember that now. It's just been so long. And, like, technically speaking, the one those holiday specials that were done in that same, like, kind of, like, weird stop-motion art style, or was it, like, puppets or something? I think it might
No, it was stop motion.
But they were made like little puppets or something, stop-motion puppets.
Well, they're stop-motion little...
Yeah.
things. Yeah, I mean they're wire framed and they're
the Santa Claus one is the one with the Burgermeister Meisterburger is the one I remember more.
well. The one I love the most is I think it was the second Rudolph special that has Freeze Meister and Heat Miser.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Sun.
I mean, again, like these are really good like childhood things. So like as soon as I see this, I'm like, oh, that is, it's very silly, but it also does weirdly work.
I was right. It was Yukon Cornelius. God, why do I remember that name?
So it's of course ages 6 and up for one to more players and $30. That's not a bad price for an Operation game. That's like around what they're priced at anyway. Man, jeez. I mean, like this is definitely something I could see that like if you got a lot of nostalgia for that, and if you have young people around. I mean, honestly speaking, I never thought Operation was a bad game. It's just a very simple game, you know. That's the thing about it. It's a little weird, simple game. It's sort of like there's a list of games which are simple, which aren't bad. Operation, like Clue, Sorry. I'm not going to put Monopoly on that because I hate Monopoly. Well, Monopoly as a game, there's issues with it, but I kind of hate playing it because it's too much on that takes forever kind of level for my taste, you know. But there's a lot of like little games like that they're fun to still kind of do occasionally now. Granted, they're not as complex and interesting settings as we've got, but like something like this that's got a really cool veneer might make you want to like be like, you know, for nostalgia's sake doing it. And again, especially if you have younger kids, it wouldn't be
I had to look this up. That's right. The Jack in the Box was the reason he was on the Misfit Toys is he's not a Jack in the Box. He's a Charlie in the Box.
Oh God. You're the land of misfit toys. Oh man.
I was just like, oh yeah, he's Charlie in the Box.
Uh-huh. Oh.
I forget what the Griffin's name was.
Oh man.
That one I'm not seeing.
Yeah.
Because he was like the leader on the island of Misfit Toys.
Steven?
I don't think it's Steven.
Quick. IMDb. Help me with this.
I was on the Wikipedia page.
Do you have cast? Great. See full cast. There's Sam the Snowman, Yukon Cornelius, played by Larry Man, Rudolph, Hermie, Santa Claus, who also played King Moonracer, Charlie in the Box, Fireball, Other Reindeer, Clarence, Donner, Clarence's father, Comet the Coach, Head Elf, Spotted Elephant, Other Toys, Doll, Others, and someone did Bumble. Oh, he might have just been under. It might have just been Other Toys at that can't.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or it could be maybe he is the King Moonracer. I don't know. I don't know who King Moonracer was off the top of my head.
Oh, but
he was King Moonracer.
Ah,
he was King. That was the Griffin. I just found it.
Okay, so it's King Moonracer, who's done by the same person who did Santa's voice, apparently.
Yes. Yeah, because he has wings and the lion body and head.
Neat. King Moonracer.
And he has a crown on. Well, yes. I thought it might be King Moonracer, so if you click on it, it shows you the picture of King Moonracer, and I'm like, yes, that's
him. He's like a chimera, because he's got like lion. He's a lion with like wings.
Griffin, wasn't it?
No, Griffin has a bird.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah,
that's why I was confused.
Chimera without the tail.
Yeah, sort of chimera or manticore. Mythological nonetheless. King Moonracer.
God, we've gone off on a tangent.
Also,
Santa was skinny.
That's right. He got skinny. He like had a. I think when Mrs. Claus put him on a diet or something. Wasn't that it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Biff.
I'm a Charlie in the box.
Oh God.
No one wants a Charlie in the box.
What? What?
It's like, why don't you just change your name, man? Just tell everyone your name's Jack.
I must be banished to the island of misfit toys for name problems. It's like, what?
It's like, just tell everyone your name's Jack. That's all you have to do, man.
I mean, again, like, I don't think there's much else to say about Operation.
Yes.
It's Operation.
No, it's Operation. Although, like, I could have seen them doing, like, actual Rudolph and maybe trying to take his nose.
Oh, God. No. See, like, I think that's a little too much nowadays because, like, you know, they want to try to avoid a little bit of that, like, because it's the message of the story that, like, you can still be different and good, and when you're taking the nose, it's kind of like removing that, you know, Rudolph's thing. So it's like,
well, you're taking all of Bumble's teeth, man.
Yeah, but Bumble's not, like, unique because of his teeth. He eats people because of his teeth.
That's what makes him unique.
Devouring of human flesh. Exactly. That's what makes him unique.
And deer flesh and
elf flesh and
apparently toys too, because you're finding them all in his body. He apparently went to the island of misfit toys and just ate everyone.
I know. Poor Charlie. You know,
first he's put in a box and
poor
Dolly
King Moon Moon Razor Moon Unit
Racer
Moon Racer
not Razor and that Moon Unit.
That's Frank Zappa's
That's
daughter.
Frank Zappa's yeah.
Dweezil and Moon Unit. Whoops. So Moon Racer, yes.
Moon Unit Zappa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm a spotted elephant. No one wants me.
Or Doll. It's just Doll.
Dolly, yeah. I don't remember what was wrong with her.
Yeah. I'm guessing.
Or the airplane.
I'm guessing Cold Shoulder is totally the igloo. I'm just saying.
There's also like a frozen heart.
Sweet Tooth, Tingle. That could be Belly Full of Jelly.
Oh.
Could be.
Maybe. It looks like a heart, though.
Because the Jingle Tingle is probably the bells. Missile.
Never say that again.
It's what it's called. The Jingle Tingle.
Stop giving me the Jingle Tingle.
Too bad. Jingle Tingle, Mistletoe, Sweet Tooth, Belly Full of Jelly, and Cold Shoulder. And you can get your Operation bucks with the, you know... That... I'm sorry. Bumble's got something wrong with him. You just look at his eyes, you know... I think Bumble's parents were a little too close together. Genetically. I'm sorry, Bumble. You got some issues there.
Well, I think if I remember right, he got kicked or something, and his eyes went, and that's the picture they use for the box.
They use it on the money too. It's like such a bad picture.
I also don't know why he's on his own. Why he's on the money that you're getting for operating on him.
He's paying.
I mean, like, shouldn't it be like Santa and
like
Cornelius and stuff? Like, not the person you're operating on.
You'd think that, but then you'd apparently be wrong with how they're planning it.
Anyway,
hilarious. Yes. Anyway. So that's Operation Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Certainly a blast from the past. I mean, it's Christmas season, so it's the right season to put it out. So, again, it's one of those ones that are like, you can't... I can't complain, you know? I can't complain about this product. Oh, there are always complaints about products. It's a licensed product, and there's plenty of complaints about licensed product. But in general, this isn't a bad one. It's the right season of the year. Why it's an Operation game and not something else? They might have their best idea might have been for an Operation game, honestly. You know? And it seems to relatively work, if not weirdly. But, yeah. So... let's just move on to our regular segments that we have, which we normally do throughout this exciting and fantastic week. We normally start with, at this point in time, our Kickstarter Corner. Because really, there's only 2 segments we have for doing our normal segments, because haven't had a deeper discussion in quite a while. You have a Kickstarter for us, Joe?
I have a weird mention.
Sure, we'll take that.
Because this is just bizarre.
Sounds like fun to me.
Do you like cheese?
I mean, to a degree.
Do you like diced cheese? Because this is not your ordinary dice game.
Uh-huh.
It's a diced cheese game.
That is a thing that exists now. Or will exist.
It has 114 backers with 25 days to go. And they're at $5,036 out of their $15,000 goal.
I mean, they're making it there. They could definitely get their diced cheese.
So you get a wheel of cheese that's sliced.
Uh-huh.
And you roll it.
Oh. Yeah.
And the goal is to assemble the wheel of cheese.
Oh.
There's 3 things you can get or 4 things you can get when you roll. You can get goat cheese, which is one with the symbol on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes to assembling the cheese. You can get no Gouda, which is it on its side. You don't touch, it's out of play for right now. You can get queso, which is it upside down from the goat, which you can re-roll that. And leaning tower of cheese is if you get it on the wheel side that it's pointing straight up.
Okay.
Which then you can use to re-roll any of the no Goudas. Only 1 leaning tower of cheese is required.
Ooh.
And the first to assemble the cheese wins. And it's 1 to 10 players.
Interesting.
And how you figure out how to go first is everyone grabs a piece of cheese, and until someone rolls a leaning tower of cheese, you keep rolling. First person to get leaning tower wins. Well, not wins, but gets to go first. So there you go. And they already have some extras they're mentioning. Oh, and it also comes in a nacho cheese tub.
I can see that there.
You can get aluminum diced cheese,
Ooh.
which comes in different colors, like purple. You know, that purple cheese. Yeah. So that you can get some. You can go and go get some cheese dice and roll them. It looks like a cute game. I mean,
it does look like a cute game, I do have to say.
And it's super simple.
Yeah.
So there's that, and it's only $10. Wait, for the early bird, they still have is only $10.
Yeah, 41 of them left, and it's only $10.
Yeah, or it's $12 for a regular.
Yeah.
So it's not an expensive game.
No.
Of course, you can for the $100 you can get the aluminum cheese.
I mean, for the $150 you can get the gold anodized CNC aluminum diced cheese.
Yes. First set to get purchased.
Gold
Each set
anodized.
will be numbered.
Gold. What the hell does gold anodized mean? Oh. Okay, so it is... okay, I get it. Oh. So what it is mainly an aluminum dice, but what it is, it's got a thin layer of gold on the surface of it.
Yeah.
So it is actual gold on it. But it's
Yeah.
like it's a very thin layer. It's like it's using it's not like it's like an actual like layer. It's like
It's like a thin sheet of
gold that they do with
Yeah.
modern science. Okay, cool. So anodized gold. There's a transparent
Gold
medium
leaf.
gold. Yeah, it's pretty much gold leaf that they put it.
But it's $150 to get gold leaf dice.
Mm-hmm.
But each set will be numbered, so they are collector.
Anodized is an electrochemical process that converts the metal surface into a decorative, durable, corrosive resistance.
Oh, they also come in a limited edition pouch.
Neat.
Oh God. Fun fact, 60% of your rolls with this set will win the game 100% of the time. But there you go. You can also spend $80 and get 10 wheels of cheese.
Anyway.
You want 10 wheels of cheese?
If it's easier to play with 10 people, then maybe. I don't know. I don't know the rules. Anyway, cheese. Neat.
Yes.
That's our Kickstarter for this week. That's good enough. I had not anything great. So that's good enough. Let's talk about our last 2 weeks in tabletop, perhaps. Let's see here. What did we do? I think I had a session of Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Did I have more than one? I don't know, honestly speaking. I think we finished up the one dungeon, and we actually had like a proper role-playing area for a little bit, where we got to do some like role-playing and things, and it was neat, and it was much better than a dungeon crawl, and I was happy about it. We got to hang in a bar, so that was fun. That's about it. Other than that, it was a lot of dungeon crawling and killing a lot of like monsters and convincing some kobolds that I was like apparently blessed by a dragon because I'm a lizard folk and I gave them food and they were starving. So they're like, "You are the blessed of the dragon," and I'm like, "No, but whatever." And then we had Records of Evil, which I had one session of finally after a few weeks break, in which various bad things happened. Let's see here. A flump ended up killing a child detective, which was on their case. Scooby-Doo, or like, if you're familiar with the anime Detective Conan style, arranging for the body to be disposed of for breakfast. But taking the head in hand, creating a carefully crafted disguise to make it look as though the child was running out into the woods, having the child disappear, and the removed face and hand appear in an area where dire boars happen to attack in the forest, or boars or whatever. So the child was eaten by boars, and not really eaten by everybody else. And there's on the backdrop of them making a deal with a very evil man, who then basically fatalitied someone, who basically like broke his neck, tore off his head, tore the guy's heart, ate it, and then left.
Lovely.
And then basically to help out the team, because they're like, well, now that I'm alive again, you can have these two things. In my old body, inside the rib cage there, because he was a spirit that they also had go into the body of like someone, which was, this is the same family. So the problem is this was the grandfather of that kid who died, and the person whose body they threw the spirit into was the father. So they like went 3 generations of awful there. But they got their evil artifact, plus a bunch of other evil objects, which may or may not curse them horribly, and they're leaving Kozakura, which is Faerun's version of Japan. Also, they made a deal with the devil again.
Who doesn't?
And then on Tuesday there was Legacies of Kain, in which they fought a werepanther who honestly speaking, I have to be honest about this. I did not play that thing correctly at all, because I didn't know how to run one of those in combat, and they run really different than I thought in combat. So I screwed the pooch on that one. So my excuse is they will realize that this thing didn't want to really fight them and just left then. Especially after one of them actually got a good hit on it. It's like, oh, you actually managed to get a good hit on me. I guess I should withdraw for now. Because technically it came there to speak, but then they went all like, we're going to take your heart out. Because the person that we do want to get help from said, bring me the heart of a werepanther, basically. Because you've alerted them to my presence. You know, the usual. That old chestnut. We'll deal with it next time. It'll be good. It'll be resolution of that storyline. I have plans. Yep. Then there was 2 weeks of Carrion Crown, which they're exploring. They're exploring Schloss Karamak. They're going dungeon crawly a little bit.
Not Schloss.
They're coming up with interesting plans. They had a chance to do some like role playing, as they like kind of like figured out some stuff about the next area, and then like decided to like rest up and recover themselves a little bit. So it'll be interesting. And then we had 2 of Children of Wrath, I believe.
Yes.
You resolved.
Wait.
You might have skipped a week in there. We might have.
Yeah, no, because the 26th would have been
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, so we did not do thanks. Oh, but no, wait, that was 2 weeks ago, actually, wasn't it?
That was 2 weeks ago.
So no, we have 2 weeks of it.
You guys finished up in Carrie's hometown, in which a bunch of Benalian knights showed up, and were like, "Hey, you guys are technically under arrest."
No. We were requested to come with the authorities and stay at a beautiful mansion. And we willingly accepted. There may be some trials.
There might be some trials, which if you follow them,
2 of our people.
When you followed them to a small settlement in the a city in the, I wouldn't call it small, a city in the middle of Benalia, like in the middle of the territory, not Benalia City or New Benalia, which you've been kind of hanging around there. Some angels showed up after Kaz and Radiant had like an existential discussion. Which then got Radiant even more weirded out, which then they got drunk, in which you and Carrie clonked out by taking like special like...
Well, she drank an entire glass.
Huge had a shot.
I had a shot of the special Dwarven
death ale.
Yes, basically rocket fuel.
Yeah. She's just like chug, chug, chug. Thwomp. I just imagined the gamers, Rogar, like
both rolled a 1.
Oh, it was with it, you know.
And Kaz, the goblin, the smallest person, freaking rolls a 20 and a 19.
Yup.
So, yeah.
Yup. It was a thing.
Yep. And
had more interesting discussions with Radiant.
Oh god, yes, because Radiant now wants to experience physical love.
Radiant just wants to is curious about the aspects of humanity kind of thing.
And also is curious why she has boobs.
That was a good one. I'm like, if you get an angel having an existential crisis, because she kind of is a little bit having that, and she's curious about her very existence. What's a question she would have? All right, that's probably a good one. Why is she hot and why does she have boobs? Why is this something that just happens to all of us? And then there's discussion of well, there are male angels. They're just really rare. They happen occasionally, depending on the situation. There's 5% of angels are male. At least in Magic's lore, which really it is. If you look up any angel cards, there are very few male angels in Magic cards. There are a couple of them, but most of them are female. And that's why that's the rule in Magic the Gathering. They're there. They just don't show up much.
Oy vey.
Uh-huh. So they'll be very
That's
interesting.
where we left off.
Yeah, that's a great place to leave off. Getting drunk and heading back home.
Well, two of us getting carried home.
Yeah. Oh, God. Technically more of you, because I'm pretty sure drunkenly Radiant carried Wintress and Hang home, because both of them were probably messed up. Maxwell was the only one that wasn't drunk to some degree.
Well, yeah, because he can't.
He has no liver.
What are you going to do? Inject his bones with alcohol?
It wouldn't work.
Can we just soak him in alcohol?
I mean, you could, but then he'd smell like booze and probably... It'd been bad booze, because it would go bad eventually, you know, and it's like, unless he cleaned himself up.
I'm just saying, maybe he can absorb it into his bones and...
No.
Or tongue.
Mm-hmm. Nope.
His tongue creates a little mouth and goes...
That'd be so creepy. He's creepy
like
enough.
aliens.
Mm-hmm. No, he's creepy enough. I don't need to have him creepier. Thank you very much. The words Maxwell, creepy enough. Doesn't need to be creepier.
I mean, he can drink if he puts his human guise on. It's just... He just sloshes.
Yeah, he's just like, aha! It is in my non-functioning stomach now.
And then he takes it off and it just goes...
Let me just go out back. You know, just like spill it all out. Like, you know, they dump
remember what happened the last time he did that?
Mm-hmm.
I went under him and had my mouth open.
Oh.
Because I'm like, hey, why waste good alcohol?
Uh-huh. And that's why I don't think he did it this time, because it's just silly and not helpful.
Well, I couldn't have done it this time. This time I was already passed out.
Uh-huh. I think that was our week in tabletop this week. It was a good week of craziness. Good couple of weeks of craziness.
Indubitably.
Yep. But, I think we will go to our final segment that we usually have here for the show, which is Consult the Tabletop, where you, out there, can ask us questions. There's lots of ways to do it on Discord, on Twitter. There's a email, discussingtabletop@yahoo.com, or you can throw it together in, like, the comments of the YouTube video, or chat here if you're with us live. So there's lots of ways. On Discord, you can either add us directly, or follow links to my Discord channel, where there's places on the channel for you to check out stuff and talk about Discussing Tabletop. And as for Twitter, it's at Dracovin for me, at JWSeeker81 for Joe. Yeah, you can either message us, you can just add us again, or message us directly. Can't think of comments fast enough. Something Cyberpunk. I know you've been playing Cyberpunk, Lightning. Again, that's one of those ones I'm curious as how much the new Cyberpunk video game connects up with the Cyberpunk RPG that's based on. That's a question I have. How much of game mechanics they actually have, and how much game mechanics they don't have. You know, because it's like making a Shadowrun video game. How much is it connected to the actual Shadowrun system? How much is it stepped away from it because it has to be a video game? And how video gaming do you have it? You know, what kind of video game? There's a lot of questions on these things, like D&D games and Pathfinder games and stuff too. Anyway, but yeah, the new Cyberpunk game is out too. It's based on the tabletop RPG. Lightning's been playing it. He's in my Discord, so he's a person to talk about it if you want to know more about that. Definitely, if you're interested. Yeah, I think that's good for today. I think that's good. We had a good, interesting bit of discussions. Very interesting topics. We got to talk about some RPGs and Bob Ross, so it's a good day when you talk about RPGs and Bob Ross.
Indeed.
Anyway, everyone out there, thank you all for joining us. I hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. As for myself, if you're looking forward to more content, definitely join Joe and I next Thursday for Children of Wrath at 8 p.m. EST. That's the D&D Geeks Magic the Gathering game we mentioned. At 1 p.m. on Monday will be Records of Evil, where they're going to be heading to Oz, which is Favorite's version of Australia, for reasons. And then, of course, is Legacies of Kain on Tuesday at 2 p.m. EST, which will be Vampire the Masquerade. As for This show will be back next Saturday, 2 p.m. every Saturday, EST. And I'll probably be streaming some video games during the course of this week. Expect more Subnautica Below Zero and finishing up a couple other of the games that I've been doing. So expect all of them to be kind of coming in here, finishing them up, having some fun with it. Whether it's today, tomorrow, etc., I don't know yet. And we might get some multiplayer stuff in at some point in time. I do like doing some multiplayer gaming and streaming it, so we'll find out. But for now, we'll both head off. We'll say goodbye to you. Fond farewells, and the most biggest of Auf Wiedersehens. And goodbye.